Today in Squad Busters, we have some new balance changes. Every single troop in the game is going to be getting changed. All 31 of them. I'm going to be going over all the buffs, nerfs, and reworks. And also, because Supercell are removing megas, keys, and reroll tokens, you guys will be getting compensated with a bunch of coins. Let's go check it out. So before we get into the balance changes, I'm sure you guys want to know, when is this update coming out? Well, the brand new Squad Busters Lava World, 3 new troops, balance changes, megas, and keys removal will be happening on Wednesday. Yes, Wednesday in less than 3 days. So this is happening real soon. So for everybody who have keys and megas, this is the conversion rate that you're going to get. So I'm going to read this off screen. You are going to get a 1-for-1 conversion rate of keys to coins. For every normal key you have, you will get 500 coins. For every epic key you get, you will get 800 coins. For every fusion key you have, you will get 1,500 coins. And for every reroll token you have, you will get 300 coins. So pretty much it's a 100% refund 1-to-1 ratio, because buying 3 reroll tokens is 900 coins. If you have 3 reroll tokens, you'll get 900 coins back. Same with all the keys. Anyways, the megas are going to work a little bit differently. I'm sure you guys are all aware that every single mega is now going to turn into a skin. So, for example, if you have a dragon chicken mega, that will now be a dragon chicken skin for your chicken unit. Now, that's what's going to happen for all the megas you have, but if you guys have more than 1 mega, you will get compensated 1,000 coins for every mega you have. So as you guys can see here, I have about 487 megas in my game. So this will translate into 487,000 coins, 500,000 coins for all the megas that I have. And this is really generous, especially when you realize 99% of the megas me and you guys have were all free from the pass. Now, you can still get keys in the game, but that's only for killing players and from your penny minimap. So that's how you can still get keys. The battle bag is pretty much gone. And instead of reroll tokens, you now have refresh buttons, which means you can refresh your chest 3 times in a battle for free. And instead of megas being in the game, if you're doing badly in a game, instead you'll get a free fused unit. So this is like the new megas, and it's a lot less OP, and it'll also be a lot more common to get. Now let's go into the troop balance changes, and oh my god, you guys are going to be surprised. Every single troop in the game is getting buffed. And now I know what you're thinking. Why is every single troop getting buffed? Let me read this out. So all characters will have a buff in their health when they are not fused to make them less likely to die. So you know when you're running around with like a colt or a bee and it's not fused up and it just gets picked off by other players or by a monster and it's really annoying, every single non-fused unit has received a buff to make him less likely to die. Now I wonder how this is going to change gameplay. It's going to be really interesting to see if this changes much or not. Now the fusion health buff has been reduced, so it will be pretty much the same as before, a fused unit. It's just the non-fused unit that gets changed the most. Now this is also very interesting. Rares and epic fusions will now do less damage to make them consistent with commons and easier to balance. So rares and epic troops that are fused will now do less damage. So a Barb King is going to be a lot weaker. Very interesting. It's only a little bit less, but it is going to be interesting that a common troop and an epic troop is going to be more similar now. So I've got some bad news. The Hog Rider is receiving a nerf. I'm so upset. I didn't want him to receive a nerf, but it's not actually that bad. So Hog Rider Classic and Super will now get a nerf to their turbo. So Hog Rider Classic and Super turbo buffs will now be reduced to balance it with other turbo changes. I'll go over those in a minute. So pretty much what this means is, as you guys can see on my screen, a Hog Rider in his classic form will make your turbo last longer, and a Hog Rider in his super form will make your turbo recharge faster. Both of those are going to be getting nerfed very slightly, and it's only going to be when you stack multiple Hog Riders. So if you only have like 1 fused Hog Rider in your squad, you're not going to notice much of a difference at all. The next change is to the chicken. So you know how the chicken will spawn up to 3 hatchlings over time? Well, now they're no longer going to lose health at all, unless obviously someone attacks it. The next buff is on bees. So bees are going to do more damage now. So you know those bees that circle her? Well, they're going to do more damage, and bee might actually be a good unit, especially seeing as she's also going to receive a health buff as well. The next buff is going to be to Nita, and Nita's receiving 2 buffs. The first buff, she will now stand in the back of the squad to protect herself as a ranged unit. So the Nita troop will try to stay behind the bear more often now and at the back of the squad. It's just like a bit of a change to her positioning. And Nita's bears will now respawn a lot faster just to make her a lot better. The next nerf is to Mavis. Well, not Mavis directly, but to the carrots. So the carrots that you get from Mavis out. You know when you throw a bomb on them and you get a bunch of coins and a bunch of loot? Well, it's going to get reduced now to be more in line with Greg's bomb thingy mabobby. You get what I mean. The Ice Wizard has received a nerf. I feel like we knew that was going to happen. So the Ice Fan does less damage to the first targets in like a squad line, but it does more damage to targets behind to emphasize the penetration. I don't really know how this is going to act in battle because they haven't given us exact stats. So pretty much when you're attacking someone, the troops at the front of the squad will get less damage dealt to them. The next buff is actually to a monster, the Yeti. The Yeti's little mini Yeti mites, you know, those little like blob units. They are now going to give you more loot to make him more satisfying and worth killing. I'm very happy with that. The next buff is going to be to the mech. The mech's attack trigger range is going to be reduced now to make it more effective for monster pets. Pretty much what that means is a smaller range for when he locks onto players. It's a good change. Okay, the next changes are going to be to turbos and just main gameplay mechanics. I'm going to read these all off screen. So the turbo will now recharge faster and with less delay to make passive moments more regenerative. So that little blue turbo button will now regenerate faster, pretty much is all you need to know. Blue boxes will now contain an additional turbo boot to make it easier to stock up on turbos early. So you know those blue boxes around the map that drop 1 speed boot? Well, now they're going to drop 2 speed boots, which is quite an OP change. I think going to middle might actually be a little bit more OP now. Squads will instantly recharge some turbo when losing a character that came from a chest. So if somebody picks off one of your troops in your squad, you will now receive some speed, which is kind of interesting actually. Regular gem mines will now drop more gems to increase their relevance and reward. So the little gem mine in middle, a lot of people ignore it because it only drops like 5-6 gems at a time. They're now going to drop a lot more gems to make going to mid more OP. I reckon mid is going to be a lot more dangerous now, especially with the turbo boots being in the boxes more and also the gems spawning more gems. Well, I feel like we knew this was going to happen. Rage spell and super rage spell from the Barbarian King are getting nerfed. So I guess this is a nerf to the Barb King as well. So pretty much they're going to have a shorter duration and less effect. At the moment, it deals like 60% damage extra for a rage spell and 100% more damage for a super rage. Well, now that percent is going to be less and the time that you rage for is also going to be less. We don't have the exact numbers, but pretty good change. The freeze spell and other minor damage sources will no longer cause monsters to drop loot on hit. Pretty much, you know, Loot Goblin Rush, how you could put a ice spell in the middle and it would drop a bunch of coins. That's no longer going to happen. There are also going to be some big changes to battle modifiers. So let me go over these. Super Gem Mine will now drop a lot more gems from time to time. So that mode is just going to be a lot more OP being in middle. Pinata Party will now have blue boxes. Pinata Party used to not have blue boxes. Now they do. Some modifiers are actually going to be less likely to appear now because they changed the chest rotations a lot. Angry Vines is less likely to appear. Doppelgangers is less likely to appear. Epic Overload is less likely to appear. Double Trouble and 1 coin chests are both less likely to appear now. Megastar and Baby Battle modifiers are getting deleted from the game, so they'll also be removed from the achievement section in the game. Chest multipliers are now going to replace chest doublers. So you know chest doublers, how you got double loot and you would only have like 5 or 10 minutes to complete it? Well, now you can get ×2, ×3, and ×4 chest multipliers. 4 times the rewards from your chest, and the time limit is now gone, so it'll just be use it when you want. You can enable and disable your chest multipliers whenever you want. The battle leaderboards on the left-hand side of the screen will now actually be relative to your positioning in the match. So normally it shows the top 3 players in the game. Well, now it seems like it's probably going to show the guy ahead of you and the guy behind you. So if you're 5th place, it will probably show 6th place and it will show 4th place. In replays and spectating, chests will now be shown when you're spectating a player. Maxed out characters from reward chests are now always going to be converted to portal energy instead of XP. Training rooms will now spawn more bosses more often, and it will also contain a blue box. Anyways, that's it for the balance changes today. Tomorrow there will be more sneak peek information, so subscribe to the channel to get notified for that. I also just want to say, when the update drops on Wednesday, I will be live streaming the second the update drops, maxing every single troop out. So Wednesday, check out my YouTube channel. At some point, I will be live streaming the big update, so come and check that out. Thanks for watching this video. If you want to check out my last video, tap the video on screen here. It's a banger, because all my videos are bangers. Anyways, I'll see you there, and goodbye.